Today I am going to make marinara sauce, or as the Italians say, tomato sauce. Now, there's an option you can do everything I'm doing and then put it in the blender so it's nice and smooth, or like I do, I like it a little bit more meaty. So I put it in, I chop it up and everything, and I put it in the pan, let it simmer, and then off and on during the day while it's simmering, I mash it with a potato masher, so it gets smooth. It's not, but it's still a little bit more meaty. But anyway, I have made it a big batch of it today. And you can use it for lasagna, you can use it for pasta, you can use it for a little bit over a meatloaf or over salmon. So I'm going to have it and I'll use it off and on over the next week. So anyway, here we go. Okay, we are making tomato sauce, or Americans call it marinara, but Italians call it just plain tomato sauce. So we're going to use tomatoes, of course. I'm going to use a little lime in mine, and I'm going to use shallot and garlic, and I always put jalapeno in mine. And then I'm going to put some Italian spices with basil, oregano, and things like that. So thing I'm going to do is bring this water to a boil. First thing I'm going to do is peel these tomatoes. So I'm going to bring this water to a boil and blanch them, and then I'll peel them. Apparently first I'm going to rinse them off because they need to be cleaned, and then I'll blanch them. Alright, I've got all the stems out, and now I'm going to put one in the boiling water, and it will sit there for just maybe a minute until the peel is ready to just slip off. And now you can see right here, and the peel just slips right off. See how it comes down? And it just slips. I can't do it one-handed, so I'm not going to be able to show you all the way. Alright, so I am done now, and it's really labor intensive if you don't get the right tomatoes. I found out today, I usually use Roma tomatoes, this is a Roma right here, and then these are tomatoes on the vine. I found out that the other tomatoes are a lot harder to get the peels off, and so some of the meat comes with it. Plus, you have to make sure with the Roma, it doesn't matter if it's kind of on the not ripe side to perfect to overripe. They peel really easy. They just come right off. These right here, as you can see, had a little bit of yellow. That took forever to come off. So, and right there. So you got to be sure, and I will know this in the future, to make sure that they're ripe. Or just use Roma. I'll probably just use Roma because they're like, this took me 45 minutes. Romas I would have taken me for the same amount of tomatoes, maybe 10 minutes. So anyway, lesson learned, and now we're on to the next step. Okay, add olive oil, just enough to kind of cover the bottom there, and heat it up. And the first thing you're going to do is we're going to do the garlic and the shallot and the pepper and kind of saute them. I think I will put these in after I get the tomatoes in. And now I'm going to put in, and to saute, this is 1 full shallot and 1 full jalapeno chopped as finely as I can chop it by hand. I'm going to saute that in the olive oil while then I'm going to put in 3 cloves of garlic, and I will show you that. And then we'll put in the tomatoes. Now, a true marinara or tomato sauce Italian would only have tomatoes, garlic, and herbs and spices. We like ours with a little bit of substance, so a lot of people will add things to the marinara or the tomato sauce or whatever, but since I know I'm going to add it anyway, I might as well do it now and let it all simmer together. Alright, so I've got the 3 cloves of garlic. I'm sauteing this, and I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. And I'm going to start on these. First, I'm going to squeeze some lime into it. I think I'm just going to do 1. I just want barely a hint. It's going to be a big batch, so maybe I'll do 2. Anyway, but I just want a hint. Okay, so the Italian seasoning we're going to put in, I'm going to put into a bowl, mix it all together. It's going to be basil, Chevelle, something I ordered on Amazon, garlic, oregano, onion powder. Well, the garlic powder I won't use as much because I've got the garlic in there. Rosemary, thyme, all dried, black pepper, and red pepper flakes. I ended up just putting one lime, plenty. I can smell it. It had a lot of juice. So this is almost ready, and I'm going to start putting the tomatoes in. And I don't seed it. I just put the whole tomato in without the peel. Okay, so it is in there. I put a little bit of chili flakes in there, but I'm going to put the rest of the seasoning in now. And you say, oh, look how thick it is, or how lumpy. Well, I'm going to boil it down, and then I'm going to mash it like potatoes until it is a smooth consistency. I must admit, this time of year, it's hard to get really ripe tomatoes. So I did the best I could, but they're not as ripe as I wanted them. So it's going to be a little bit harder for me today to get it to be a smooth consistency, but I'm up to the task. It is now boiling, and I'm going to let it boil for about 5 minutes. It's got all the seasoning in it, and once it's boiled about 5 minutes, I'm going to mash it down, and then I'm also going to turn it to simmer and let it simmer for 3 hours, and I will mash it off and on during that until it's a smooth consistency. Okay, so as you can see, it's been mashed down for the first time, so it's still pretty thick, but it's thinner, or it's more smooth than it was, and it will continue to boil down and get that way. As you can see, it's getting more smooth and thick, and this is about I think the third time that I've mashed it. I'm going to let it simmer. It's been simmering about 30 minutes. I'm going to let it simmer for another 2.5 hours. So a couple more times I will go ahead and mash it. It's been simmering for about 2 hours now. It's got another hour to go, and as you can see, it's more smooth. Now, another option if you want, I like mine a little more meaty, but you can put it in the blender and then simmer it, and then it's really smooth. But that's up to you, and I'm too lazy to do that because then I would have one more thing to clean. And now it is ready to go into a glass bowl and put in the fridge to use throughout the week. And I tasted it, and it's really good, and it's even spicy for me. So we'll see how it goes. So anyway, here you go.